scripture lesson. Proverbs 26:18. Just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, "Oh, I was only joking." Isn't it amazing that the Bible, thousands of years ago, knew what was going to be happening? Rumors, oh my, here we go. Rumors, we don't do rumors. Rumors are dainty morsels that sink deep, deep into one's heart. A lying tongue hates its victims, and flattering words cause ruin because I know you don't mean it. And Proverbs 88:9 says, "My eyes are blinded by my tears. Each day I beg for your help. O Lord, I lift my hands to you for mercy." How many days did Howard Gray pray for help? That little girl that came to me in 6th grade, how many days in 4th grade and 5th grade did she cry for help? Who's going to help me? She told me, "Mr. Barger, I just knew I was who I was. I had the wrong name. I lived in a trailer. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have any money." Well, and you know what? That's the way we're treated. She told me this. Okay? That's the way we're treated, Mr. Barger. Well, it changed a little bit. In Proverbs 15:4 it says, "Gentle words." Like next week we're going to talk about what are we going to do. How can we come up with a game plan to change a little bit? Gentle words are a tree of life. A deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. You've all had your spirits crushed by a deceitful tongue. Proverbs 26 says, "Many will say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly, truly reliable?" Would you all look down at your hands? Seriously, put your hand in front of your face like this. If you have 5 wonderful, good friends, you're truly blessed, aren't you? If you have 5, do you know that I would ask kids, how many friends do you have? None. And you know the hardest question to ask when I would do little things? Give me 2 things you're good at. That was the hardest thing. I'm good at nothing. I'm good at nothing. And in Genesis 33:10, way back in Genesis, but Jacob insisted, "No, if I have found favor with you, please accept this gift from me." And what a relief it is to see your friendly smile. Smile power in Genesis. It is like seeing the face of God. Let's read that, and start with that. Let's all read that together. "And what a relief to see your friendly smile. It is like seeing the face of God." Woo! Woo! Now, let's just talk a little bit about getting over is good. Getting up. I'll try not to knock that over again. All right. How do they, put downs, rejection, how do they make you feel? How do they make you feel, folks? I'm not going to make, do they make you feel, how about the unfamily? Does it make you feel unhappy? Does it make you feel unaccepted? Does it make you feel unwanted? Does it make you, the unfamily? That's where it starts, folks. And you know where it goes next? If we don't stop it here, that's why it's so important to have prevention instead of intervention. If we don't stop the unhappy, unaccepted, unwanted, and I almost forgot, unloved. Unloved. Have you ever felt unloved? Every one of you in this church have been around somebody that feels unloved, unwanted, unacceptable, unworthy. How about that one? You know what that one leads to. Worthless. And that gets us over here in the less family. And when you get to the less family, you're needing intervention then. You probably need a counselor. You probably need some help. Because you begin to feel helpless. And if you feel helpless long enough, you begin to feel hopeless. And when you get to hopeless, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. When you run out of hope, and you feel all of this has been working on you for several... That little girl, she was all of that. And then, how does it make you feel? It makes you feel like you want to run away. A little third grader said, no, it just doesn't run away, Mr. Barger. It's run away and never come back to this place. Never come on. I don't want to be here. It makes you feel like you're invisible. And you'd like to be, but you can't be. It makes you feel dangerous. Okay. Anger. And if anger isn't taken care of, then you get violent. And then you know what happens. Right? Anybody want to add anything to this? Does it make you suicidal? Does it make you depressed? Does it cause emotional and mental health problems? Does it? Yeah. Does it? Yes, it does. It does. Let's be honest here. Okay? And it makes you feel like nobody cares. That I exist, but I don't exist. I'm breathing, but I'm not. Nobody loves me. Yes?
I was just thinking of the people that go through all that, but they're silent sufferers.
Right.
And nobody knows.
Right. If you have mental health issues, and you have emotional issues, and you have addictive issues, you are a silent sufferer. And somewhere along the line, God brings that certain person into your life that can see through your silence. You understand that? These people don't just come. They're sent by God. Anybody of you ever have anybody sent by God to you? Like Denny sitting in the back of our church at St. Peter's, and I'm having a bad day, and for whatever reason, Dave Kidman came along and gave me a note. He didn't know he had the note ready for me. He had the note ready for me. Or the girl that came by one Sunday morning and said, I'm going through the same thing you're going through. And we became silent suffering partners. You think I wanted to get up at the church and say, hey, strong Denny Barger, teacher, coach, church leader, church board, speaker, I got depression, I got mental illness. Do you think I wanted to get up and say that? No. And all of a sudden I got all right with who I was. Okay? But I had, compared to the people that suffer from this is really painful, isn't it? It's painful. The list could go on and go on. When I do a workshop, the kids tell me this. They know this. They know. They're you know. And I've had kids in 3rd and 4th grade. A 4th grader at Highland School District, 4th grade, come in with rope burns on his neck. Rope burns. You know what that was from, don't you? The night before, or a couple or 3 nights, he tried to hang himself. He spent every night by himself. He was lonely. He didn't have any love. He didn't have any family. He came to school unkempt and not washed. So one night he decided it was easier to do that. So you see, folks, if I can save one person, if I can save one, if you could reach out, next week we're going to talk about that, okay? Okay? We're going to become an AOK group, okay? This week, think about someone you can reach out to. I got some propaganda here too, and we'll stop. You can all see this clock, right? Don't you dare look at that one. This one gives me 5 more minutes. Don't look at that one. Vince, you're looking.
As soon as you said it.
I was made to do that, yeah. This one gives me 5 more minutes. Anyways, I didn't get to read that. I'll read that next week. Behavioral research. Chad Hemster was a behavioral researcher. Most of everyday suggestions in our society are extremely negative. Violent TV translates into a more violent culture. Sensationalism in the media towards sensuality and immediate gratification. I gotta have it now. May well have helped spawn the almost immediate epidemic use of harmful drugs. The big city newspapers agreed not to publish anything about suicide. And the suicide rate went down. The minute they started putting it on the front page again, it went back up again. It's like a copycat thing. It also calculated in an average home, from birth until child leaves home in the late teens, he has heard negative comments. It can't be done. You aren't amount to anything. How could you be like that? It's impossible. And by the time they leave home, they've heard 148,200 negative comments. What we give out will come back to us. Life is a bouncing ball. The finest gift we can give another human being is the gift of excellent expectation. I believe the greatest gift you can give anybody is the message of Jesus Christ, because that is the true alternative. Expecting the best provides realistic affirmation of a person's uniqueness, individuality, and strength. Don't look at their weaknesses. Don't look at what they can't do. Look at what they can do. You know, and I tell kids, look up at your parents and say, hey, I'm doing the best I can, and remember, I'm your kid. It's in the gene pool. You know, and they can't look at you and say, you know, you aren't doing it very good every day. You aren't perfect, Mom and Dad. They can't say that. But I'm thinking they're thinking it, aren't they? Huh? Positivity multiplies itself. It encourages reciprocal. And you know, last week I forgot to tell something that's really harmful. Sarcasm. I can be very sarcastic. I can make little sarcastic comments. Sarcastic is a very, very powerful thing. Ever been around a teacher or person that made fun of people with sarcasm? And you know, it's the best shirt you had, the best pants you had. Hey, great shirt, great pants, where'd you get them? You know. Or somebody trips and falls and say, hey, have a nice fall, see you next, have a nice fall, see you next, whatever it is, spring, fall. All right. Here's what you people told me last week. Here's what you handed in. I moved to a new school in 9th grade, and it was very hard trying to find new friends. Since I came from a bigger school, and people had the wrong idea and view of me. Another person said, my 2nd grade teacher made me eat my lunch alone. Sitting on the floor, it wasn't enough, but sitting on the floor in the gym for something that I did, which I cannot even remember. Another one, I was bothered when people called me stupid. My 6th grade teacher yelled at me for throwing or blowing the cover of a straw across the lunch table at the friend. I do that to Nancy when we're out eating in a restaurant. Any of you do that? Come on now. Any of you blow a straw? Come on, yeah. If you don't blow a straw, you ain't having any fun, you know. She was very unkind. I wanted to take organ lessons in junior, senior high. She was the teacher, but never accepted me for lessons. I think of this often. Put down by my neighbors saying I wasn't allowed to do anything in my house and don't give orders. Third, I was hurt by a relationship. Forgive me for everything. A co-worker who I thought was my friend turned on me and made me work no fun anymore at work, and a boss corrected something I did incorrectly in front of other co-workers and made a big deal out of it in front of others. My 7th grade history teacher called on me when I was paying attention and made a big deal when I was not paying attention, made a big deal over it, embarrassing me, and then I had trouble reading and speaking all through school from that one incident. I was told I was fat. I was lucky. Another one said I was lucky. Nothing happened that I couldn't handle. One person said I was mentally hurt. Another person said I was born a runt, remained small until age 14. My anger was taken away when I asked Jesus to help me. We cut a boy from the basketball when he was in 10th grade. He grew 4 inches over 10th grade or 5, and he became the best defensive player I ever coached. Okay? And instead of his dad coming to me and saying, I can't believe you cut my kid, you know that, and I was ready, he come and said, Coach, how can he work to get better? What's he need to do? And I told him, and he worked, and he came back, and he had 2 great years. 2 great years. All right? And I was glad I didn't give up on him. I felt neglected. My 5th grade teacher told me I couldn't sing with the class because I couldn't sing very good. Only one boy and me were left in the room to clean erasers. You come and sign up here, and we're going to let you sing, okay? We are going to let you sing. And next week after church, we're going to have a meeting, a choir meeting, okay? I'm going to sing. Nancy won't sing. She won't sing. Having family members believe newspaper. Now, this is interesting. Having family members believe the newspaper instead of believing me, instead of their own family. And I was disowned. Okay? Here's some of the kids I just pulled. I had 3 of these sheets, but I just pulled one out. Here's some of the kids in school said, I was picked on for years and no teacher ever wanted to help. If I have enough money, I will have power. We feel abandoned that no one really cares about us kids, especially adults. Do you know the majority of kids don't trust adults? We would like to be more kind, but if you're too sensitive, you're going to be hurt. I could kill myself and no one at school would ever miss me. They wouldn't even know I was gone. Frank Peretti, in a book called The Wounded Spirit, he was born with his tongue out because they had, up in Minnesota, the doctor didn't have a good delivery, and, oh my, is it? What time is it?
12 after.
Uh-oh. I'm going to I'll quit with this, because I ain't buying you lunch. All right. Anyways, Frank Peretti wrote a great book, The Wounded Spirit. He had 8 operations. When he went to school, he was called all kinds of names. He ran away from the bus, and gym class was the worst thing that could happen to him, 7th grade gym class. But he said, these memories of put-downs are etched in our brains, and each occasion, each offense is an ingredient in the recipe that has come together over the years to create who we are today. And he went on to say, deep inside, my soul wailed in anguish, and there were no words or thoughts to heal it. Parental advice came to mind, but it carried as much weight as a cookie fortune. Parents always and adults always said, just ignore it. And you know what just ignore means? That means they're not going to help you. That means don't bother me. That means figure it out yourself. Ignoring was only acting. It didn't stop the arrows from cutting through my heart. I even believed the taunts and stinging words. Dear God, am I truly that ugly? Am I truly that weak? Am I truly that weak, worthless? That's in his book. Okay? And Frank Peretti, 7th grade gym class, he'd take a shower, and the kids would torment him in the shower. That's when everybody took a shower after gym class. You remember those days? And you know what hurt the worst? A couple teachers come by, and they'd look in and grin too, and laugh, and not defend him. But ironically, in 10th grade, a gym teacher saw an essay he'd written about his pain, and this gym teacher, the gym class he hated, this gym teacher, saw what he thought about gym teachers, and he sort of adopted him and got his life back together again. So you see how that Frank Peretti has never forgotten the pain that he went through because he was born and they cut his thyroid and his tongue went out, and it didn't go back in. He couldn't talk right, and he couldn't read, and all this stuff. And it's a great book. Folks, I'm committed to making things better, okay? One starfish at a time. Are you a starfish today? Aren't we all starfish? You know that lady right there, standing in the 2nd row, who I tease and torment, and gives me such a tough time. I couldn't begin to tell you the time she's thrown me back. And the big coach and the big tough guy, she's stronger than me. She was stronger than I was. She was stronger. Her weight room was lifting me out of my funks. I'll be ever grateful for that, Nancy. I will never forget. How many of you can remember that person who came along and lifted you and threw you back when you needed it the most? Oh, Lord, oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to play a song. You're going to get out a little late, but I'll let you